Soon, fresh, sun-ripened strawberries will be in abundance, and one way to join them is making a mascarpone tart. Betty Ann Donegan and Stephanie Dietz are here to share their recipe. Welcome back to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Betty Ann, this is an original recipe, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
A lot of strawberries. When is the height of strawberry season?
June.
June. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready.
We're getting ready. Yep. So it's a perfect time to be doing this.
Well, how do we get started?
We're going to make a crust. This is a cookie crust.
Difficult?
No, that's what it's
So
going to
you
look
say.
like. That's what it's going to look like. I have some flour in here and a little bit of sugar and a little bit of salt, and I'm cutting in the butter. And then here I have some milk, an egg yolk, and a little bit of vanilla, and that's the liquid. There's no water in this. A cookie crust is a sweet crust.
Okay.
And while I'm doing this, Steph is going to start with the macerating.
Here, I'll go in the middle then, here.
Okay.
What are you doing to the strawberries?
I'm going to macerate them. So we
Okay.
have some orange juice that we're going to pour on the strawberries, and some peach brandy,
Okay.
and a little bit of sugar, and we're going to sprinkle all that and mix it up and let it sit for about half an hour. And that's going to draw the juices out of the strawberries and make a really nice liquid that we're going to strain and then boil down to make this syrup, which we're going to dab on the strawberries after we put them on.
Fabulous. I like
Okay.
this. What a great summer dessert.
Yeah, so I'm going to mix this up, and we're going to pretend that a half hour goes by, and I'm going to strain these strawberries, and then we're going to start putting them on the tart.
Sounds great.
But we have to get the filling first. So we'll let those sit for just a second. I'll get
Okay.
the filling.
Now, what is the filling? Wow, I really smell the brandy in here. I know it cooks off.
It
but
does. It all cooks off. It all cooks off.
So in here we have the filling, which is pretty much just mascarpone cheese, some powdered sugar, and just some heavy cream to make things a little lighter.
Sounds fantastic. Now, that's going to go right in that tart?
Right, right. Should I do that first?
Sure,
one?
yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll get that going.
How are
I'm
the
just-
cooking classes going?
Oh, the cooking classes are great. Oh, we had I asked my students to write little cards and tell me what they liked and didn't like this year. And one girl said, if I showed them how to mix and eat dirt, they would still come. So,
Well, that's a great recommendation then, huh? That's pretty funny.
I mean, we don't mix and eat dirt, but
Of course not, but-
I have a tremendously loyal following. It's just amazing. Okay, so see how this is coming together with the liquid that I put in?
Yes.
So this is ready to roll out now. So I'm just going to take it off the pastry blender and put it on the crust, on the cloth, and then just roll it out. And I'm going to show you a little trick.
Okay, I could use all the help in the kitchen I can get, Betty Ann.
See how I'm just spreading this out here?
Yes.
Put a little flour.
I think it would be easier if you guys just came over and did this. You're quite the team here.
Now, instead of trying to pick this up, because this is a soft dough, cookie dough is very soft.
Okay.
I'm going to take the insert to this pan, and I'm going to slide it underneath like this,
Oh.
so that I don't have to fold it and pick it up, because it's going to tear if I do that, because
Well,
it is
that's
soft.
what I was thinking.
Right. So that's just a little trick. And then you just pat it into the pan. Now, if you can't roll things, if you really have a hard time with a rolling pin, you could just pat this dough into the pan. It takes a lot longer, but
It's an option, right?
it's an option. Now we're going to bake this with some pie weights. I'm going to dock it first. Docking means you prick holes into it so it doesn't pick up when it's cooking.
Oh, I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't familiar with it. Okay.
So this is a quick, easy crust to make. It doesn't have to be chilled. You can just pop it into the oven at about 350, 375 for maybe 12 to 15 minutes.
All right, so you definitely bake it first before you do all the filling.
Oh yes,
Okay.
because this is a none of this is cooked.
Okay.
This is all just put in. That's why it's so nice for the summer. And this keeps quite well if you put it in the refrigerator. Now the reason we put the glaze on is for flavor, but also because the glaze protects the strawberries from drying out. You see, when they're in the fridge, and it also gives them some shine. These pie weights go in here like this.
Why do we need these?
Well, because it'll pick up, because you have a bottom here that's removable, so
Okay.
the air can get in there. What happens is if there's any moisture between the pan and the crust, that moisture turns to steam and it makes it bubble.
Okay.
That's what the holes are for, so the steam can get
I
out.
understand.
But with a pan like this, that the bottom is not solid, for sure that'll happen.
Okay.
So these weights, and you can use beans. I used beans for years. Now one of my students gave me these pie weights. I mean, because
It works. Either way.
either way they work. So this goes in the oven, 10, maybe 12, 15 minutes. When you take off the crust, take this off the crust, if it isn't golden, you can let it stay another minute or two.
Got it?
But the color should be this
Wow,
golden
this
color.
is beautiful. It's like a work of art here, Stephanie.
Now, if you
Wow.
wanted to, like for 4th of July, if you wanted to, you could put some blueberries in
festive.
between the spaces to see, to make it look a little more like,
So I'm just going to lightly dab.
Red, white, and blue.
red, white, and blue.
Patriotic.
Yeah.
I get it.
Now you see, this has been boiled down, so it's much, much thicker than the original liquid.
Okay.
This reduces by about 3 or 4 times. But what you don't want to do is boil it so much that you make lollipops out of it.
Oh,
because it
that can
will.
happen?
Sure, because it's sugar.
Okay.
So we put sugar in there, plus there's sugar in the orange juice. So you have to watch that. This is not put it on and walk away. You gotta
pay
It takes about
attention.
5 minutes of boiling to get it down, but you don't want to let it go too much
Now, is
longer
this
than
going to
that.
stay glossy and pretty
Yeah.
when you bake it?
Yeah.
No, bake it. I'm sorry. I
Right,
didn't.
right. Not going to bake it, right? You're just going to chill it.
You said that
And
over and
this
over
has-
again.
And this has to be chilled until you serve it. This is not something you could let sit out for hours and hours in the hot sun, because of course the cream is going to
It'll
melt. Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful. I think you bring this to a party, everyone will be very
Oh,
impressed.
And it tastes delicious. So for me, that's a home run.
Definitely. All right, we'll have the recipe over on WTNH.com. Ladies, thanks so much. You made it look easy. It is
Right.
easy, though.
It is easy.
All right, up next, we'll tell you about the influence weather has on our feathered friends when style returns. We'll be right back.